Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to CRL Season 9, Round 5. Apologies for the delay. We had a few hiccups with the YouTube channel. Anyway, as always, I am your host, CRL Spider95, and this week I am joined by my co-host. He was away last week because he decided to celebrate his birthday. Yes, it is Mr. AFL 1994.
Hello, everyone. Bit strange being on Twitch today, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, we've got the stream done. That's the main thing. So yeah, let's hope we can have a good session tonight.
So, for those that are wondering why Mr. AFL has said Twitch, well, we're not actually on YouTube at the time of recording this video. We're actually on my very own Twitch channel, which Nathan has very kindly said to stream it to, and then I'll download the file, and when obviously you guys are rewatching this back, we will be on YouTube. So from this moment forth, we'll act like we're still on the YouTube channel. Now, AFL, you missed out last week on an amazing race because you decided to celebrate your birthday. Imagine having your birthday on the day of a CRL race, mate.
I know.
Oh dear. Well, obviously last week was Qatar. We had a great race, obviously dubbed as the Penalty Grand Prix. This week we are on China, which is not a lot of people's favourite track. Obviously we raced around here on Monday, and we had a bit of a... Yeah, there's that snicker there, says it all. It was a bit of a... it was a bit of a strange one on Monday. But we persevered. China. Calendar track? No. Is it available? No. So, it was supposed to be on the calendar for this actual season in F1. However, the Chinese government have ruled that due to COVID, it's still not... they said it's still not safe for them to race in China. So it got pulled off the calendar at the last minute. So, however, it was still included in F1 2023. This and France and Portugal are three tracks that are not included in the main calendar, which is available to play, naturally. Now, Mr. AFL, what can you tell us about China?
So I'm just gonna double check this. I think the person who's won the most round here is Michael Schumacher, but I'm just gonna double check that.
Yeah, no problem. As always, Mr. AFL is our residential fact man when I do ask him for facts. 9 times out of 10 now he does say he doesn't have one, but he's got our facts. That's the main thing. So while he's looking for some facts for us, let's just have a quick look at the championship standings. While we are not on board with IRT Mick, who's on a hot lap, Brabbit currently leads the championship by 12 points. Obviously Hargreaves, who was in second place, has now been promoted to tier 2. So technically now in provisional P2 moving into this championship from now, it is 4-Star, who is currently 20 points behind Brabbit. So 4-Star is going to have a lot to play for. Obviously 4-Star and Rabbit both racing this evening. Oh, yeah. But no, not a bad track, to be fair. Well, it's not a bad track. It's got its moments. It's quite curvy, it's quite twisty. It's very easy to come off and lose the car. Obviously, 17 drivers taken to the track tonight. And I can't wait to get... You know what? I'm really looking forward more to comsing it more than I raced it on Monday. But I think that's been my catchphrase this season, to be fair. I don't think there's been one race I've looked forward to.
Yeah, my race was dire on Monday. I can't lie, it was terrible.
I ended up retiring as well, mate, so you're not the only one there. Anyway, times are starting to come in now. Strauss has set the provisional, or temporary provisional at 132.2. Cole Paradox goes 132. Everyone's just coming across now. We'll wait for everybody to play catch up and then we'll jump across. So, as it stands, Tobes is now currently P1. It's currently an Alfa Romeo 1-2 with 131.6. Maconie currently P2 with 131.7. The times are starting to fly across the board now. Clark with 132.5. KXI 132.2. Everybody's starting to come across the line. We've got a Merc coming across the line now. That is, and it's a name that you'll recognise, AFL. It is Mr. Dean Pryor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That one was kept quiet.
That one was kept quiet. I decided not to tell you until today. I was waiting for your reaction to go, hang on a second. Is that who I think it is? Yes, it is.
Fair play.
Yep, Dean messaged me asking, do you know of any leagues that was taken on? Well, Dean is a reserve this evening, currently filling in that vacant Mercedes seat. So, for me and AFL, Dean, go show him what you can do, mate. We know what you're capable of. So, let's jump on board with Mick, I believe. Yeah, Mick's going to be the next one to set a time. Quite about half the grid has currently set a time at the moment. Let's see what Mick can bring to the party. Obviously, everybody on the softs, which is the natural choice. Anyone being on a different tyre during quali. Bit of a silly mistake. Anyway.
So, I was wrong about who's got the most wins around China.
Who's got the most wins?
It was Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton.
Alright.
And he has the most poles as well.
Alright, well, Mick's got
6 poles and 6 wins.
Nice.
China.
Fair play, that's 100% record there for Lewis, but I'm not surprised though from honest. So anyway, Mick doesn't go pole, he's got 1 minute 32.2. Next across the line, I believe it's going to be Dean.
Yeah, he's just come around the last corner now.
Didn't realise I didn't have telemetry on, so I do apologise there for anyone that was wondering where the telemetry was. Dean, what can he do? He goes 11th with 132.4. Not words that I thought I'd be saying about Dean. For those that are wondering, going, Rob, how do you seem to know this reserve? Rob, how do you seem to know so much about the new boy? Well, Dean races in another league that I'm part of, so that's all I will say on that matter that I do comms for as well. So, overhyping Dean, that could be a one thing for tonight. Aston Martin goes 132.3 of chugs. Let's see who else is out and about at the moment. Brabbit is on a hot lap at the minute, so let's stick on board with him, unless we can find out who's currently out. War Daddy has come in. Panda's got no DRS, so I can only imagine that he's going to be on an in lap. Cammy's on an out lap, so yeah, let's stick on board with wee Cammy for a little bit and show him some love, because he's not currently set a time at the moment. Now, last season I did a lot of practice for China on pad and was doing really, really well, and then the internet let me down and couldn't race. So I was really looking forward to it on Monday, and then about 4 laps in I wasn't looking forward to it. It's not a nice track for wheel, I've noticed. Big difference in pad and wheel on this track. Very nice lap so far from wee Cammy, keeping it within the lines, and he's currently on a hot lap, so we're going to see what he can do. While he is taking us on his hot lap, let's go take a look at the World Constructors' Championship. So, as it stands from round 4, Haas are still leading the World Championship with 407 points. In second is Ferrari with 386, and then Alfa Romeo in a very close third with 367. Moving further on down the table, it's McLaren with a 303, and then Aston Martin only 2 points behind with a 301. Moving to the bottom half of the table, Mercedes have a 281, while Red Bull have 275. Williams are on 248, while AlphaTauri, dubbed AdminTauri, the amount of admins that are in it, are currently on 228. However, the only team not to break the 200 marker and currently in 10th is Alpine. And wee Cammy's come off track while I was reciting that off my PC, so his lap's not going to be the best. He is aborted that one. Let's go jump on board with Brabbit, who's just gone quickest in Sector 1. Let's see what the Ferrari lad can do. Obviously, like I said, Ferrari are desperately trying to claw down as many points as they can tonight to maybe try and take over the lead from Haas, while Haas will be trying to look to extend that lead. Tier 1 and 2 will be both kicking off at 8 PM this evening. They've had Tier 1's time has been changed from 8:30 to 8 o'clock, so the two highest tiers will now be starting at the exact same time for the remainder of the season. As always, the formation lap is off due to a technical glitch in the game's software. Brabbit's going dead slow here. I don't know if that's just me or not. There we go, he's picking a bit of speed there, but he has invalidated, so we're going to move on from Brabbit. Let's go and find somebody else. KXI, by the looks of it, is
Daddy's
on.
About to start a lap now.
No problem. So we'll jump on board with War Daddy in a moment, because KXI is about to come around the final corner. I believe he's about to start a hot lap. So yeah, let's jump on board with War Daddy in the Williams. You know what I wish they'd done? I wish they'd put the 800 race livery on the car instead of as a DLC skin.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, like they did with the Ferrari 75 last season with red and yellow.
Mm-hmm. I think what they've sort of done this year is obviously it's like you have to play the game a bit more to get it, whereas when obviously last season or last game when we had the Ferrari, we just were given the livery as like a DLC. So I get how they've done it, but maybe they could have done it the same way, but just you work to pull it on the actual car itself.
Yeah.
Not just the multiplayer car.
I mean, it would be nice if you could change, obviously, the liveries on the car. That would be a good idea. Indian Jesus goes fastest with a 131.4. Still 7 minutes left of the session. We'll jump on board with somebody else later on. We're just currently on board now with Ward, who's looking to set an improvement. Currently 13th on the grid. There's still 3 drivers left in the session that haven't set a time. And J-Law, obviously, currently out of qualifying. Anyway, War Daddy comes around the final corner. He's put up a nice bit of speed here. What's he going to do? War Daddy goes provisional P4. Lovely, lovely time there, AFL.
Carried a lot of speed into that last corner there.
He did. Right, let's go and find somebody. Let's jump on board with IRT Mick, P11. Let's see if he can improve on his time, shall we? We'll take a look to see if anybody else does improve. Big thank you to everybody watching. I know this isn't where your normal stream is this evening, but sorry, I just realised I missed a message from Mr. Head Admin Nathan. Just letting him know that it is up and live. Alright then, so IRT Mick now goes provisional P4. Sorry, I didn't realise I missed a message. I'm going to jump aboard with Wee Cammy now, who is currently on. He's currently on an outlap actually, so no, we won't jump on board with him because it's going to be a while till he's back round. Let's jump on board with Panda. Show the Alpine boys some love. They're currently sitting 10th on the table. They need as much love as they can get. Mr. AFL, would you mind just quickly commenting over Panda for me temporarily?
Panda, yeah, I'm trying to find him now. Oh, there you are, yeah. Got him now. He's just about to finish the middle sector. It just goes on forever, these couple of corners, literally one after the other. Just make sure he doesn't run the car out too much. Yeah, it's kept it within the track limits there. Let's see what he gets through sector 2. And he's up by just over a 10th and a half. So yeah, pretty much just a foot down to the floor now until the hairpin, just see how he goes through here. It's one of those tracks where you need sort of a good straight line speed, but also good front end as well, so maybe a compromise through one of the different types of sectors tonight.
Yeah, a lot of decent overtake opportunities on that straight. Yeah. Apologies there. Thanks for filling there, buddy. Little one decided to want a juicy bottle. So, dad duties always got to come first, unfortunately. Anyway.
It's a great lap from Panda there.
Oh, it's an amazing lap. P2 with 3 minutes in.
P3 for the Alpines. They need a good round of points tonight, so hopefully that puts them in good stead for the race.
Well, we are currently on board with Wee Cammy at minute, mate. But yeah, you are right about the Alpines needing points, and that'll be a great start if they can keep it. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But with still a few minutes left in the session, anything is possible. Right. Right then, let's see what wee Cammy can do as he approaches the last corner of the track. Can he improve? Well, he's going to improve. Can he get a time? Oh, he invalidates at the last second. He's going to be fuming with that. Absolutely fuming.
He does have enough time though.
He does.
Save his ERS. He's
well,
got enough fuel.
The only thing is his fuel light is blinking at the minute, so he's going to have to come in for fuel and get back out ASAP.
Don't think he'll have enough time.
Well, hopefully we'll send him some love, and hopefully we can do something with that. We'll jump on board with him again later on this evening. Right now, let's go and find out who. So 4 stars on a hot lap at the moment. Clark's on a hot lap at the minute. I believe the other Red Bulls on. Everyone's on out laps at the minute, as they say, not hot laps. So I believe the next one to set a time will possibly be 4 stars. So we'll jump on board with him temporarily and see what. Actually, it might be Chugs. Actually, you know. Let's see where he is. Yeah, it's going to be Chugs that's going to set the next hot lap of the session. He's looking to improve from P13 with that 1 minute 32.3. What is it, AFL? Is it 27 laps of racing this evening, if I remember correctly?
Yes, mate, it is.
27 laps. 27 twist and turny laps. Brabbit.
Got a bit of traffic to contend with.
Brabbit will be looking to pick up that 3rd win of the season. Currently on a screamer.
This is horrible for Chugs.
Let's see.
Not too bad.
Well, Chugs, is he going to improve? That's the question. I think he's going to fall. He does improve. Half a second improvement there into P9. Here comes his teammate Indian Jesus on an out lap, so he's now on a hot lap. Right, everyone's starting their final laps of the session now. So I believe the next one's crossed the line is going to be Ward. No, it's not Ward Daddy. Someone's crossing the line in a blue car. Right, so it's going to be Cold Paradox that crosses the line next. Everyone's pretty much now coming in. Right, wee Cammy's coming in. I'm going to assume that's going to be the end of his session, unfortunately. He's not going to set the time this evening. Right, the next one to cross the line is going to be a Red Bull. That is going to be a Esteban, who goes provisional pole, 131.3. So, Clark's got to now try and get around the last corner within 19 seconds to get another attempt at this, because he's aborted that last lap. He is going to get time, so he's going to be the last car to cross the line. So it's going to be Tobes that's going to be the... Oh, and Tobes spins and he's in a wall. He does more than retire. He's out. Caught that on stream as well. Send that into UB frame, mate. We'll get 250 quid for that. Ka-ching. Right. Dean Pryor is going to be the first of the drivers to cross the line. What's he going to do? Our Dean, we know he is capable of quick speeds. He is racing in Tier 3, and he goes P13 with 132.0. A little bit more, not going to lie. As Brabbit, our championship leader, he goes 131.1. Right, it's going to be an ompage now of Aston Martins. Here comes Indian Jesus. Indian Jesus doesn't improve, so we're going to jump on board with Chugs. Chugs doesn't improve. We're going to jump on board with the other Williams of War Daddy in P5, 131.5. That's as far as he's going. Right, who's next across the line? It's going to be a Haas. Haas is going to be KXI. KXI does improve. He goes P9. Then it's going to be someone else. I missed that completely. Right, it's now the battle of the Bulls. Esteban's going to be next. Now he's trying to give his teammate, I believe, a bit of a tow, or potentially impede. I really hope he's not impeded there, because that could be a quality ban coming his way if he has.
Boys, haha, no practice at all. First outing in China on 123 francs.
As well.
Well, it's a bit of a tow. Clark's gone up to P11.
P11.
So he does improve, but one has to wonder, could he have potentially gone a bit faster? And that AFL will be the grid for this evening.
It's a good grid. The times are quite close. There isn't like a massive gap between everybody as well. I think everybody's just within a second or just over a second away from each other, which obviously just shows the skill between all these drivers tonight.
Yeah,
just check the gap here.
Tier 3 is a lovely tier as well to comms over because it's
all within a second.
Yeah,
guys that qualified anyway got their laps in all within a second of each other. 0.8.
So, provisional, well not provisional, taking P1 is Brabbit, then it's the Ban, then it's Indian Jesus, and 4-star War Daddy, Panda, Strauss, Cole Paradox, Tobes, and KXI complete the front half of the grid. Moving into the back half of the grid, P11 and P12 is Clark and Mick, and then it's Maconie, Chugs, Dean Pryor, Weekami, and J-Law. I'm looking forward to it. I know the boys are looking forward to it because we kind of saved, because of the YouTube technical glitch, apparently we saved them from a wet China. So they're a bit thankful that there was a bit of some technical difficulties. The question is it going to rain in the lobby? It's on dynamic. Well, it's looking sunny and shiny in China. I mean, it's bad enough in a dry China, let's face it. Imagine a wet China. I'm shuddering at just the thought. I don't know about you.
Yeah, they got lucky tonight. So.
They did. we saved them. Too many people trying to log into the channel.
I think we spared a few of their blushes tonight. So.
Oh, 100%. There could have been a lot more crashes. But 27 laps between us and deciding, obviously, the Season 9 Chinese winner. I'm really looking forward to it. I reckon it's going to be some good battling no matter where we look today, and it all depends on obviously how good people's launches are at the start, especially in that first sector. I wouldn't really class it as an S section, would you? It's more of like a spiral.
No.
Well, it is lights out and away we go, and it was a quick lights out and away we go this evening while we get everything up that we need to go. So, position change will be... No, we want tyres to begin with. A good start from Brabbit, to be fair. Bit of a mixture on the tyres this evening, AFL. We've got some red... We've got a bit of everything on the grid. We've already got a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's an AlphaTauri, I believe. That's of J-Law, and he is because he's the only AlphaTauri on the grid at the moment. But a lovely start there from Brabbit, who is pretty much a second clear of Staban. We're going to show J-Law some love. There he is. Right. Pretty much clean start. I don't know if you saw what happened to the AlphaTauri.
No, I didn't. But everybody else seems to have got a clean getaway.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be
good.
Too much damage, if any. So let's take a look and see how we got on position change wise going in halfway in. Right then, so Brabbit obviously went pole and still leading. 4 stars up 2. Staban and Indian Jesus are both down 1. Strauss is up 2. Cole Paradox is up 2. War Daddy's down 2, and so is Pat. Oh, there's a bit of a mixture going on no matter where you look at the minute, mate. We'll come back to this in a little bit. I think I've done that a bit too prematurely. Let's get some tyres back on.
Something's happened at the back of the grid.
Yeah, I can see it seems to involve a McLaren and a Mercedes by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brabbit setting the pole time there. Weekami goes a little bit wide there, but I think he just kept it. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah. Let's stick on board with this battle at the back. P14 to P16. Weekami
maybe looking around the outside or no.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, it can be done.
Yeah, I think I did it on Monday, if I'm honest. When it's done, it's beautifully overdone.
And obviously this battling is bringing Jay Lawler back into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got... Sorry, it's 28 laps, mate, not 27. 28 laps of racing, so Jay Law's got plenty of time to get his way back into the grid, to be fair to him. So it's... And, probably, let's face it, a safety car or two. It wouldn't be CRL without a safety car. We can be willing to struggle to pull track a tiny bit. It is an awful track, though, to be fair, on the turns, because when I was braking for the turns, the car just didn't want to brake, it just wanted to keep going.
Solrock escaped. No one caught it.
Right then, so Brabbit is pretty much a second in front of 4 Star. 4 Star is trying to keep that cap, obviously, going, because he'll get DRS in lap 3.
4-star's looking good on those soft tyres as well.
He is. The difference obviously is Brabbit is on the mediums, 4-star is on the softs. 4-star potentially going for a 2-stop with the soft, maybe medium approach. Brabbit probably going for the medium hard. 4-star now goes fastest in the race with a 134.6, and DRS is now enabled.
Cold Paradox and P3 as well on the soft tyre. It's a range of different tyres to start with. Majority on the mediums, a couple on the hards, and a few on the softs as well. So it's a good range to see who's going to end up where, what's going to sort of play out as well with safety cars and incidents and stuff like that.
Obviously the hard runner boys are looking to obviously go long and then obviously maybe wait for some safety cars. Yeah, that's what I tried doing on a Monday. It was working for a certain period of time, but I won't say anything on the stream. But yeah, it's what it is. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by my race. Obviously this is these boys' race. Obviously we've got a fair while to go before we decide a winner here in China, but we'll look to the future a little bit and we'll obviously let you know where we're heading to next week. Now, we are heading to Montreal, Canada. The dreaded Wall of Champions awaits these boys next Thursday at the same time as always at 7:30, and it awaits us on Monday, mate. How are you thinking about Canada?
I'm actually confident around there. Famous last words, I probably will end up in the Wall of Champions. But no, I am confident around there. I just need to get a good sort of practice session in beforehand.
The only problem is, mate, I will be getting 0 practice between now and Monday for Canada. Because I'm working tomorrow. And I'm busy with chores all day tomorrow that I need to get done, because it's that lovely day of pay where you've got to then pay to live.
But paid the same day as me.
Yeah, it's payday tomorrow, mate. Bills and food shopping.
Yeah.
Saturday I'm off down to Twickenham for my dad's birthday. I'm going to take him to watch England play Fiji. Yeah. And Sunday I'm travelling back, and obviously it's the Dutch Grand Prix as well.
Yeah.
So, and then Monday
you've got a busy weekend.
And Monday I'm at work again, so I'll get half an hour of time trial if I'm lucky. Oh dear. But it's all fun and games now. It seems to be that the battle for P1 is starting to heat up as 4-star is in distance of Brabbit. He has DRS assist. Let's see if the tides can change. It's soft versus mediums. How are we thinking?
Right now 4-star looks quicker. But once you get that tyre offset, Brabbit should pull away a little bit. Depends on how much 4-star's been pushing as well, and how much Brabbit's been saving his tyres, and probably going for the long game.
Well, Indian Jesus overtakes Cold Paradox and retakes P3. We weren't on board with it, but obviously keep an eye on it. The first of our in-runners is in. Chugs in Aston Martin comes into pit on 4-lap old medium, so I can only assume there's been a bit of a collision somewhere. Clark and Dean Pryor have changed positions. Dean now in the last of the point-winning positions in CRL. Remember, we do award points all the way down from P1 all the way down to P12. Just that little bit of extra opportunity, and as always, the top 10, if one of them finishes with the fastest lap, will get an extra point. Now just remember, this race is just provisional finishing. Obviously, if there is any incidences, all of our drivers can submit it to the stewards for investigation. Post-race, the stewards will then convene together on Friday evening, where it will be then decided and seen if there's any foul play involved, and then the standings will then be updated. Obviously, we're always looking for people to join our lovely, lovely community, so if you're sat there watching and going, ooh, what do I have to do to be part of CRL? Well, CRL is a PlayStation-only league. So long as you have a PS4 or PS5 or a copy of F1 2023, you can be part of our lovely community. And if you do fancy jumping in a hot seat, all you've got to do is fill out an evaluation, and then one of our lovely admins will be around shortly to give you your call. But AFL, one thing I have noticed, you've seen what time it is, it's 8:15. You know what that means?
think you're going to tell me anyway. So go on.
It means if you hit that lovely red button somewhere on your remote, it'll do absolutely nothing because we're not on Sky, we're on YouTube. But the YouTube channels for Tier 1 and 2 is now underway. Obviously, Tier 1 being bumped up to the time of 8 PM, where they'll be racing for the remainder of the season. But it means the big boys are now out to play the top dogs. Go and show them some love. Naturally, after Banter Tier 3 has concluded, because this is where the action is, let's face it, this is where the closest of racing is done in Tier 3. And then obviously there's the goated tier, which is Tier 5. I'll tell you what, this battle between 4-star and Brabbit is heating up quite nicely, but we've shown them a little bit of love, a little bit too much this evening. So we're going to jump down mid-pack, and we're going to jump on board with the battle for P8 between Tobes and KXI. Now, the Alfa Romeos were doing alright in qualifying, and now they've dropped to about P9, P10.
Yeah, may have had a bit of contact with another driver, but look, still a long race. Want to see how they work together to get past KXI if they do.
Yeah, well, so long as they don't battle and take each other out, we should be fine, let's face it.
Yeah. They're all burning through their ERS as well, which means they are trying their hardest to either attack somebody or defend as well.
I've noticed this. Tobes has only got 8% left and he's only 7 laps in. So there is a yellow flag somewhere though. There's an Aston Martin and I believe it is of Chugsy spun into the corner before the big straight. And there's a safety car deployed. What for?
Possibly debris, mate, because I don't think Chugs has a front wing.
No, he doesn't. I'm just going through the cars one by one to see if I can see anyone that's had a bump with someone. Was it a bit of a premature safety car from the game, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you who's going to be laughing from that. Brabbit. Because by the time the safety car does get underway again, 4-star, if 4-star stays out on these tyres, which by the looks of it he is, those softs are going to be screaming. But while the safety car is out, now is the perfect time to look at who has switched which position. So, positions change-wise, obviously Brabbit still has control of the Grand Prix. 4-star is up 2, and Indian Jesus is still in P3. Cole Paradox is up 4, massive improvement from him. War Daddy is still P5. Strauss is in P6, up by 1. Panda is down by 1 in P7. KXI is up by 2, and this is now where we're getting people coming in. Brabbit and 4-star have both decided to pit. I can only assume, potentially for hards, quite a lot of the front runners are actually coming in, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's very smart of 4-star to come in.
Yeah, to follow.
Yeah. But he's got mediums as well. Again, he's on the quicker tyre compared to Brabbit.
Yeah, opposite strategies. I think Brabbit's going on the fact that maybe no more safety cars, and maybe 4-star is thinking there may be one more in this race.
Yeah.
I think 4-star's gone for the right call personally, because depending on when that second safety car comes out, he can either pit for another pair of softs or another pair of mediums. Interesting calls. Now let's take a look to see if anyone didn't decide to come in.
Yeah, Maconie, Mick, Jay Lawler, they're the only guys to have stayed out.
Yeah, it is interesting. Obviously I'm happy to see AlphaTauri up in P3. Obviously racing for AlphaTauri this season, it's always good to see the team doing well. Obviously we need as many points as we can get, but as it stands, that's just a provisional period. Technically speaking, so long as there's no more safety cars, Brabbit is still in the lead of this Grand Prix, having to serve that mandatory stop in dry conditions. I can only imagine that the safety car will not be in this lap, considering that the Aston Martin of Chugs. What is going on with Chugs? Chugs is on a free stop, mate. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I can only assume the safety car is not going to be in this lap, to at least allow Chugs to try and get back into the race. So we're going to jump back on board with Maconie, as he is leading the Grand Prix as it stands technically.
So obviously new rules tonight, safety car restarts as well.
Yep.
I don't know if that's been explained in the stream, but due to someone's antics in the Aston Martin in Tier 5, I'm going to mention who that is.
No, we wouldn't mention your name on stream, mate.
There's a new safety car rule tonight where you cannot overtake until you pass the start-finish line. Obviously before, under green flag conditions, you could obviously put your foot down, but the new rule from this week states that you cannot overtake until the start-finish line.
Nope, that is correct. And that is now in accordance with actual FIA regulations as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, while we're waiting for Chugs to catch up, we'll talk about a little bit of actual F1 while we wait. Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen have both signed contract extensions for Haas for next season. I'd love to see the pair of them still on the grid. Obviously, we're still waiting on that Lewis Hamilton one though. Could this be it, mate? Could this be the end of the Hamilton era? What are you thinking? Do you think he's gonna sign?
Don't say that. I think he will sign for Mercedes.
Well, normally he's done it by now. I know they were negotiating because he wanted to be a Mercedes ambassador, but it's
all hearsay. We don't really know the ins and outs of contract talks and stuff like that. Obviously the media may know a little bit, but until it's obviously confirmed by Lewis and Mercedes or whichever team he signs for, it's all just hearsay. Obviously I'd love him to stay on and sign a contract, whether that be with Mercedes or another team. In an ideal world I'd love Lewis to sign for Ferrari, but Ferrari is just a mess.
Thanks. But you're right. I don't think the safety car is coming in this lap. I think Chugs has joined too late, so we are going to get another lap of safety car.
Winners revealed in 90s.
Yeah, another lap of safety car awaits us at the moment. Or could we potentially get another Danny Rick scenario? Could be another Danny Rick scenario where Lewis is off the grid and then halfway through he gets signed by Williams or something.
Next joke, please.
Okay, he gets signed by Haas. They go, you know what? Bye, Nico. Oh dear. I would imagine the safety car will definitely be in this lap, so we should get racing on lap 11. I know these boys will be they'll be dying to get in. I mean, technically speaking, Maconie could come in now for hards and it not affect him too much. That would just be my opinion anyway. That's what I'd think about. But
I think Maconie's just thinking about track position. Obviously he's got Mick and Jay Lawler behind them as well.
No one caught it.
And he can try and scarper off and possibly build a gap and see where he comes out. later on in the race. This is obviously dependent on.
Oh, Clark gets a, sorry to interrupt, mate, but Clark's picked up a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Naughty, naughty, you don't do that.
That's probably something to do with the game, to be honest.
Probably.
Yeah.
And obviously, final bit of obviously unrelated racing chatter before we get underway with more comms. Daniel Ricciardo's release date for F1 23 has been confirmed for August the 29th.
And that you've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting for a release date for Danny Rick to be back in game. Now all I need is a Sebastian Vettel icon driver, and I'll be happy. But we are now getting underway where Maconie does lead us for the restart of the Chinese Grand Prix in Tier 3. Obviously, a few of the drivers I saw in the background there all decided to come into the pit. They came in a bit quick there, to be fair. A yellow flag in the back somewhere. I don't know what caused that, but Maconie is got a little bit of a nice distance away. Brabbit is overtaking. Oh, look at, there's a good battle, freeway battle there for P2, and Brabbit is the winner, going round the outside through the middle and taking the outside line, and is now back up to P2, where he is now hunting down Maconie. Technically speaking, Brabbit is the leader now of the Grand Prix, because Maconie does have to come in for his mandatory stop.
I'll tell you one thing about Brabbit is he gets his elbows out.
He does.
And he goes for it. And you have to respect that.
I'll tell you what, there's a lovely battle going on just a couple of positions down the way. From P3 to down to about P6 is quite close as well. And obviously, I know it's only just been the start of the relaunch, but it's some lovely overtaking, there's some lovely battles going on no matter where you look. We're going to jump on board with the battle for P3, where Mick is leading it into the corner. And they gave it a name then, but I won't do that because that would just be a bit petty of me. But Mick has been overtaken by 4-star. Beautifully done as 4-star goes around the inside and then to the out. Now this is where we could potentially see a bit of bumping and a bit of... There's contact between the AlphaTauri and the McLaren. Could that be one? Maybe it doesn't... Well, the McLaren hasn't really lost anything there from it. Cole Paradox is now up to P5, but we now have another new race leader. Brabbit retakes control of the Grand Prix and is back into P1.
Yeah, Brabbit's having a really good race at the moment.
Tell you what, he's having a really good season at the moment.
Yeah.
There was talks of him potentially maybe being moved up to Tier 2. Hopefully we do get a bit of a championship battle on our fight. I know Brabbit's desperate to try and win a championship. I'm speaking to him obviously post-race interviews and obviously behind the scenes. I know Brabbit wanted to, obviously I know Hargreaves wanted to be involved in that battle as well, but his pace was just a bit too quick for Tier 3, so he's got an automatic promotion, which in a way is a victory in itself when you think about it. I mean, being told you're too quick for the tier you're in, move on up. But I also see the other side where it's like, oh, I had a chance at winning the championship, so... Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a bit of bumping and grinding between Tobes and Indian Jesus, which has brought Staban back into play. It's free wide going into the corner, and there's a spin! There's a big pile-up! And there's still some knockages, and the McLaren spun as well.
Mick spun.
And he's got wing damage as well. Now that will be one for the stewards to definitely look into. One of those where someone went in a bit too deep or someone went too wide and tried cutting across. Obviously we only saw the disc from behind, so we're going to now jump on board a bit further up the pack. DRS has been now enabled as Dean Pryor looks to go for a move on Clark, potentially around the outside. We've got the age-old story of a Red Bull and a Mercedes battling it out for points.
Seems like every week these cars are just like magnetised towards each other.
I think that these two teams are destined to do this forever, you know. They're like Batman and the Joker.
Sworn mortal enemies.
100%. But neither one of them can live without the other. Speaking of Mercedes, Wee Cammy has come into the pit for fresh sauce. bit early for Sauce, so I can only imagine that he is going to potentially be holding out for maybe another safety car. Mick has also come in. He's now on mediums, and Tobes has also come in as well for fresh hards. So interesting choice of strategy from the 3 pit runners there. Let's go and take a look back up front. So Brabbit has pulled away quite nicely away from 4-star. He's managed to get a 2.5 second gap. Maconie is trying to hunt down 4-star. There's a bit of a gap between them as well. There'll be no DRS assist, I believe, between them. Oh, possibly. We'll have to hold out and see if he does get in. There doesn't appear to be any assist there. Cold Paradox is on this. DRS is definitely enabled, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Push the ban going from moving Jay Lawler into the hairpin. Yeah.
Battle of the Bulls. Obviously, you got the big brother and the little brother battling out of position, but Staban does make that look easy and retakes P6. I believe Jay Law. Has he still got to come in? Let's take a look.
Yeah, he hasn't pit yet. He's still on.
Yeah, I didn't think.
He has pit actually.
Oh, has he pitted?
I think he has.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. J-Law has not pitted. We've only got 2 boys on track that has not pitted, and that is J-Law and Maconie. Move the tyres back on. There we go. Right, let's take a look. Let's jump back on board with one of the Mercedes. We are jumping back on board with Mr. Dean Pryor. He is now trying to look to get the move done on Indian Jesus. Can he get it done? That's the question. Obviously, we know what Dean's capable of. Dean knows what Dean's capable of, but these people watching at home don't. Nice little battle at the moment going on. No matter where you look at the minute, and it's clean at the moment. However, Clark has burnt through all his ERS trying to get past War Daddy. He takes it beautifully. And Aston Martin's come back to play though, and so's the Mercedes. But War Daddy with that overtake and retakes P8. I tell you what, we are going potential 4 wide. Dean's looking to make the move as they go down into this corner. Dean keeping it tight. Is he going to cut across the inside? He blocks War Daddy, not illegally, but it's a lovely slam of the door. And Dean moves up to 9th, and War Daddy drops to P10. Good little battle.
We're seeing a battle going into turn 1 as well.
Yeah, we're going to stick on board with this lovely mid-to-pack battle at the moment. Dean has got away, and War Daddy gets around Clarp.
Clarp's doing the under.
He's done it. Can he stick tight as well? That's gorgeous. Gorgeous move from these boys. They're doing absolutely everything by the book.
Yeah, great racing there between all of them. Obviously firm but fair racing, or hard but fair racing.
Yeah,
which we like to see.
No, it is. Guys. Always good to see when you see drivers actually racing cleanly. Because it's good to comms on, and it's good for them to see as well, because they'll be sat there in their little seat doing obviously what they're doing, and they'll be like, oh, this is great, I'm loving it. Or they could be saying something else entirely, which we can't say on stream.
Yeah, profanities.
I know we get quite loud during our races. If I had a swear jar in this house, mate, when it comes to us doing our races on tier 5, I think it'd be full by the end. Yeah, honestly, it'd probably be full by the time the race is over. Just have to have a direct debit at the end of the race, but we got a yellow flag, and it is for an Aston Martin further down, and that is for Chugs. Chugs went a little bit wide there, and he's still gone a bit wide. It's not going well for Chugs. Not having a great race. Right, Maconie has finally come into pit. He said 15 laps is enough for these mediums, as he opts for a set of hards for the remainder of the race. And J-Law also doing the same. He's coming in off of hards though and going on to a fresh set of mediums. But that does mean every driver on track has completed their mandatory pit stop. So now it's just a race to the finish. Panda moves up to P12, overtaking KXI, and he's now in the points. Weekami, the other Mercedes, is battling against Chugs, and Weekami is now looking to try and potentially get up into the points. And there's Mick. It's a bit spread at the moment. I'll tell you what, let's go and jump on board with the battle for P6, mate, which is between Indian Jesus, Dean Pryor, and Clap. I think we could get some decent DRS battles coming up shortly. Dean has gone through quite a bit of his ERS, Indian Jesus has gone through quite a bit of his, and Clap's managed to build his back up a bit. So let's see what the DRS zone brings.
I forget what that is. Just behind as well.
Yeah, he's slowly coming into the game.
He hasn't got DRS.
It's pretty spread out now wherever we look. The real battle is where we're two.
Yeah.
All in all, it's been quite a good race, to be fair. Obviously, we've had a couple of bumps and we've had a couple of spins, but there's been no real major... Oh, has War Daddy come in?
Yeah.
Maybe he's gone hards aren't the right tyre and he's gone, you know what?
See what he goes on to a set of softs. Interesting.
Well, 11 laps left to go, so long as there's no safety cars.
Damage as well.
Oh, did he? Is he? Yeah, he has. Yeah, you can see it being changed.
So that's going to be one fast Williams now.
Well, Cole Paradox is currently sitting P3, so his teammate is currently in the podium positions at the moment. 4-star is in P2. Chugs gets the first 3-second penalty of the evening. For Chugs, it's just gone from bad to worse for him. You gotta feel bad. But it's all fair in love and racing. It does seem to be a bit of a battle though. For P3, Strauss is keeping Cole Paradox for company at the minute. I say we jump on board and keep an eye on these boys for a minute, because we could be getting a lovely little battle into turn 1, because Strauss is going to get DRS on Cole Paradox. Now, can Cole Paradox defend? And while these two are battling, it's going to bring Staban back into the fray.
He's gone for it down the inside.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Lovely stuff from these two boys. Strauss making that look easy and takes P3 in the race.
Yeah, that was a good move there by Strauss.
J-Law going fastest in the race with 1 minute 34.1. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say, obviously Alpine need a good result today.
Yeah, they do.
And yeah, Strauss is on his way to getting that, hopefully. Don't want to jinx him or anything.
I do think Dean Pryor just suffered a double overtake there from the other Alpine and KXI in the Haas. He's now dropped to P12 and P10. So I do believe he may have been caught snoozing on the outside, and the two boys took advantage of it, obviously. If you leave the gap open and people are going to go for it, they're going to take it. We'll stick on board with Dean and see if he can battle his way back, because we are very shortly coming up on the short straight. So let's take a look at the remainder of the CRL calendar for the season. Obviously, I've already said that next week will be Montreal, which will spell the first half of the season. Remember, the season is a short season. We're only doing 12 rounds. So what have we got in store for the second half of the season? Well, I'll tell you. Round 7 will see us go to sunny Barcelona and we'll go into Spain. Round 8 will see us go to Abu Dhabi. However, I will not be commentating for Abu Dhabi, because on the day of the race I'm flying to Greece and I've been told I can't do share play and do comms that way. So I'll be in sunny Greece. I'll think of you all while I'm sat on a beach drinking a margarita. After that, we've got our majority of CRL's home race, and that is Silverstone, where I potentially could be back for the comms, but I know I'm definitely missing out on the race. Then we head over to one of my favourite tracks, and quite a lot of people's unfavourite track, that is Miami. We then head over to Imola, which holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. And finally, to wrap the championship up, we head to the old finishing track of Sao Paulo in Brazil. Good track to end on, to be fair, Brazil, let's face it.
Yeah, Brazil's a quality track. Obviously, much prefer the season ending at Brazil. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 3 though, which has been cleared straight away, which is good.
It only to be looked minor, to be fair. Well, in all that chatting that we've had, Dean Pryor has now got himself back up to P10. So, let's take a look further down, because Panda and War Daddy are having a bit of a battle for that points place. So, War Daddy should get DRS here if he's timed that right, and he has, and he will. Timed it beautifully, but they've both got DRS. Ooh, interesting.
Strauss and Cole Paradox are changing positions as well. Cole Paradox is now back in front of Strauss. Can see this battle going on for the rest of the race.
There's overtakes no matter where we look. Clark is serving his 5-second time penalty in the pit. Indian Jesus is also coming for a pit. I can only imagine that these boys are going to be putting for red wars. No, Indian Jesus goes for mediums and Clark goes for reds. Interesting stuff. So let's take a look to see what's going on for the battle for P3. You said Strauss has been overtaken by Cole Paradox, who is now back on the podium as it stands. But Strauss is now trying to retake that position. War Daddy's up to P10, getting past Panda. Interesting stuff, no matter where we look. I don't know who's going to be commsing with you for Abu Dhabi and Silverstone, mate. I can assume it'll be one of the more experienced comms, or you never know, you may have to step up. Take my seat.
No, I'm not ready for that.
No. Baby steps. Obviously, I got my time in the co-comms box with Jamie. Sign up with Jamie. Yep, Jamie. Obviously, last season for Tier 2, and obviously that was with Scott as well. So, yeah, I got a lot of tricks. It was good, but now obviously promoted to the top spot. Obviously, I'm still learning, so obviously thank you for everyone bearing with us. Obviously, AFL's learning the co-comms. I'm learning to remember to jump on board with everybody at the right time. Obviously, last week was a big step up for me. I had to be everywhere, and I didn't really get a breather last week. I don't know if you managed to rewatch the stream at all or not last week, mate.
I didn't rewatch it. I actually watched it live.
Oh, was you watching it live?
Yeah, and you did a great job, mate.
Oh, cheers, man. It was a good race to comms over last week. I am gutted you weren't there for it, because I reckon we could have had some really good moments together. But I'm sure at some point this year we're going to get a chance to comms over Qatar together.
Yeah.
Right then, let's go and try and find ourselves a battle, because it's really spread out between everybody now. I think the only real battle happening at the minute potentially could be between KXI and Panda.
Just keeping an eye on obviously the battle for the lead. 4-star and Brabbit. 4-star's putting a bit of work now, and he's only 1.5 seconds off the lead now, so that's going to be interesting to see whether his tyres can last the next couple of laps.
No, we'll have to keep an eye on that for definite, like you say. It's heating up. Just going to show some of the background is a bit of love. There's Mick. Chugs has managed to get out of last position. He's up to P16. But he is ghosted. Oh, no, he's back to normal now. No, he is ghosted. I wonder if he's... Take a look into that. Weekami is obviously starting to catch up on Chugs. So let's go and take a look at this battle for P1 at the minute. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there, but there's not a lot of a gap, is there?
I mean, I don't think there's a gap for Brabbit to worry about too much.
No.
Because he's probably on the better tyre as we speak now. And he's probably just trying to bring the car home to the end.
Yeah, he's looking for that third win of the season is Brabbit. He could do it. I reckon he will do it. I honestly really do think he's currently 20 points plus in the lead at the minute. I reckon he's got potential. He's not moved up to tier, which I don't think he should be moved up to tier 2 now because of how far into the season we are. Because I think to move him up now would be a bit harsh. I do think he's got a shout now of the championship. I know we're only just under halfway, but you think we're going to be at that? We're going to be closer towards the end of the season sooner rather than later. Because every point really does count.
Would have flown by.
Season wraps up on the 12th of October. You think, mate, we're only on the 24th of August now. Blink and you miss it, it'll go. Because it just feels like yesterday I was planning my holiday to Greece, and this was back in April. I fly in less than... I'll be on the plane home this time next month. Actually, I think I might even be back in Britain by that point. Get distracted, thinking of margaritas on the beach. Right then, let's go and find someone. There seems to be a bit of a battle building up with the battle for P10 between KXI, Panda and Indian Jesus. Let's jump on board and keep an eye on these boys. With 5 laps left to go, the chances of safety car now could be pretty slim, but never say never. Oh, as I say that, we've got a spinner of Maconie down into P6. He came off track a bit there and has now conceded the position to Staban. He'll now be hunting that down, and on hard tyres, they will not be forgiving him for that. Dean Pryor can smell. Maconie was in P2, wasn't he? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, I know he was at one point.
Yeah, I think he was leading at one point. Remember, he didn't pit under the first safety car.
No, he stayed out, didn't he? That's where I'm getting confused.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting in a few laps now.
Oh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be tight. But it's going to be good. We've got a Mercedes stopped on track, though. We've got a spinner from Wee Cami. Not enough to bring out a safety car, though. Remember, the safety car can still come out up until the last 2 laps of the race. That's how it's programmed into the game. So, but Rabbit is now catching up on Wee Cami. I believe he's got past Chugs. Let's go find out where Chugs is too. Yeah, so we're starting to see drivers getting laps now by our front runners. Slowly but surely. Right, let's take a look to see. Strauss and Cole Paradox are still having a lovely little battle between the pair of them. Ooh, I think that was a little bit... I think his tail was going a little bit there, and that's allowed Cole Paradox to potentially close the gap a little bit. Let's see what they can do as the battle for turn 1 for P3 heats up. Can the Williams get past the Alpine? No, but let's see what they can do into the spiral section of the track. Panda has got past KXI, he's now up to P11. Strauss keeping that position of P3. Let's go and take on board and see what's going on there with the battle for P11. So we're looking at one Alpine, we're now jumping on board with the other. And once again, it's coming to the battle of turn 1. So KXI is going to be looking to make the move as he sends it down the inside. Going to get the overtake and gets it done into turn 1. KXI is now back in P11. However, Panda does have the inside, but KXI is going to do the manoeuvre and pulls it off beautifully. But all this little battling has now brought Clerp back into it. The battle for points is really, really heating up, mate.
Oh,
what have you seen?
I did have a little tank slapper going into that corner. Did get some nice rotation in as well, so it didn't affect him too much.
That's the main thing.
Just the back end just slid slightly. Nothing to worry about.
Fair enough, let's jump on board. We're going to go back on board with the reserve that is for Dean Pryor. He's trying to hunt down Maconie, but Maconie is building that little bit of a gap now. I don't think he is in DRS range. We do have a yellow flag. It's Mick. Mick's gone for a spin in sector 2. Nothing too major by the looks of it. The race does continue.
I've been glued to this Strauss and Cole Paradox battle. It's looking like this could go all the way to the end of the race.
That's one that we can definitely keep an eye on at the moment then. So Indian Jesus just got past War Daddy for P9, and Panda and KXI, I tell you what, they're trading positions like no tomorrow, and their battling's brought Clerp into the battle for points as well. This is going to get spicy all the way to the checkered flag with just 2 laps of racing left to go. So will you keep an eye on the battle between Strauss and Cole Paradox? We'll jump on board and stay with the battle for P11 between KXI, Clerp and Panda. KXI out in front. Clerp's looking to get the move done on the outside and does pull it off. Clerp is now up to P12. Panda's now out of the points, but Panda's not wanting to give up position too easily. He's looking to battle, but all this battling between these three has brought Tobes into play. Let's take a look at how much ERS have they got. So Panda has the most ERS out of all of them. Then it's KXI, then it's Tobes, and then it's Clerp. So interesting battle as Clerp looks to send it on the inside. Lovely and beautifully timed, but KXI is going to have the advantage going into the turn. They're slightly on love tap, nothing too major though. They say rubber is racing. The tyres, that could have ended up in a spin, but Tobes has gone wide. And it's going to now be a DRS battle all the way down to the hairpin. This is going to be nice and juicy. Panda's looking to go for the inside and go for the double overtake. Panda gets the double overtake, but this is just positioned to being traded over. 3 wide into the hairpin, but through goes Toby. Oh, but he's gone through and he's technically into a wall. Oh, that could have been a beautiful, beautiful moment, which ended in contact. Clerp and KXI now battling it out for points. Panda desperately trying to get in them. How's your battle going up front, mate?
Seems to have steadied a little bit. I could hear the commotion from your side, so I thought I'd come and have a look.
Mate, you're more than welcome to come and join this party. These boys are keeping it. Well, I wouldn't say there's been a couple of taps. Obviously, like I said, it's ended with Toby in a wall, unfortunately. But the battling is real. The position gain is real.
A wild manner appears catch it using.
But we are going to be entering the final lap of the race any moment, as Brabbit will then start as he crosses the line. So we are now into the final lap of the race. So we are going to jump on board with Brabbit. So, when it comes to your driver of the day, mate, who are you going to go with?
Tough one, mate. I think Brabbit's done a decent job tonight.
Pole to win.
Looking at, yeah. I'm going to say, if it finishes how it is now, I'm going to give it to Jay Lawler. He's up 12 positions. He was last at the start of the race. And he's done a good job to get back into decent points. So I give it to Jay Lawler, mate. What about you?
No, that's good reasoning. I've been impressed with the Cole Paradox race. Dean's done a good job as a reserve tonight. But the fact that it's looking very highly likely that it's going to be a pole to a win, he's not had to do too much. He's kept it clean, he's kept on the track. To be fair, all these boys have kept out of penalties, to be fair. We've only got one penalty on track at the minute, and that's 5 seconds. Or 3 seconds. I'm going to have to give it to Brabbit. Just because it's been a simply lovely drive. It's been a Sunday drive for him, let's face it. but as he comes into the hairpin with just two... Oh, Mick picks up a 3-second penalty right at the very end. But the race can only be won by one. He's your championship leader. It's extended and continues. Brabbit wins the Chinese Grand Prix for Tier 3. 4-star will bring it in P2. And then to finish off the last of our podium sitters is Strauss. Cole Paradox narrowly missing out on that podium. He had it and only just narrowly missed out. J-Law will come across in P5. Staban in P6. He's had a lovely battle up there on track today. Then it's Maconie. Then it's the reserve of Dean Pryor. Indian Jesus will come across in P9. War Daddy into the last corner will come home in P10. As the battle for P11, P12 and P13 has finally sizzled out. Clerp is going to bring it home into P11. KXI will bring it home in P12 as the last of our point runners, and Tobes will bring it home in P13. There will be a steward's investigation, I can only imagine, if he does decide to submit that report about what happened to him there. Time will tell. Panda will come home in P14. Mick picks up, obviously, like I said, a 3-second time penalty right at the very end there, but he will bring it home in P15. Chugs has already crossed the line in P17. And Wee Cammy will bring it home in P16. What a race to commentate over.
You enjoyed that one, didn't you?
I did. I actually did enjoy it. But once again, it's been another one of them scenarios where it's been... I've enjoyed commsing it more than I've raced it. The in-game driver of the day went to J-Law. Your driver of the day, mate. But it's been that was a great race. No matter where you looked, it was good to watch. Brabbit with his third win of the season. I know it's a bit early to be thinking about champions, mate, but I do think we are witnessing a champion in the making for Tier 3. Now, while I run through, where everybody finished, mate, if you wouldn't mind inviting Brabbit, 4-star, and Strauss in for an interview. So, Brabbit went from pole to victory in China and takes his third win of the season. 4-star P2, Strauss P3, Cole Paradox P4, J-Law P5, Staban P6, Maconie P7, D Pryor P8, Indian Jesus P9, War Daddy P10, Clerp P11, and KXI wrapping up the last of our point winners in P12. Tobes will be P13, Mick P14, Wee Cammy P15, Panda P16, and Chugs in P17. It was a fantastic race to comms over, and now hopefully we can get the boys in for a bit of an interview. You sent the invites, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just doing it now, mate.
Sound, buddy.
So who am I inviting, mate, again, sorry?
I'll just get that back up now for you. So... Brabbit. You know, because normally on YouTube I can rewind it if I need to. Brabbit, Strauss, and Cold Paradox here to save the day. 4-star Brabbit and Strauss.
Nice, right?
That's on stream as well. Me just there going completely blank and after just reciting them to everybody. It wouldn't be a tier 3 stream if Rob didn't make a mistake of some kind.
So Brabbit, did you say 4-star?
Brabbit, 4-star, and Strauss.
Strauss. Don't know if I've got Strauss as a friend. I'll have to add him. Send an invite. back to Strauss now.
So just while AFL does get everybody in, obviously just a reminder that next week we will be heading over to Montreal, where the Wall of Champions awaits all of these boys, and will anyone plough into it? Well, the first of our podium sitters is in. We're going to talk to Mr. 4-Star. 4-Star, talk us through it, mate. What a race you had today.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's nice to get a podium again. It's been about 3 seasons since we're on the podium, so that's nice. But I wanted to win, so I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest.
I can imagine, obviously, just narrowly missing out on the top spot, to be fair. You did have good battles here, where and everywhere. Obviously, we only had a couple of safety cars tonight, so talk us through it. What was your original strategy? What was your thinking?
I kind of base a lot of my strategy on expecting a safety car. That's why I only did one run in quali, saving 2 sets of softs for the race. The plan was soft when the safety car comes out, like it did, go to something else depending on when it came out. When I went onto the mediums, at that point I was planning on stopping again, hoping for another safety car. But they held up okay, and I managed to get the gap down, and it was like within 0.2 of DRS, which is painful. And then they just went, and that was it. Game over.
But you still managed to get a podium. That's the main thing. Obviously, I know you just narrowly missed out on the win, but it's a podium nonetheless. You still got to be happy with that. Like you said, the first one in 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. It's not all bad, but when you got kind of other people, they kind of people like Clerp and that lose their wings every week. It's just a lot of it's just staying out of trouble. So it kind of comes good in the end. And obviously Maconie's very good at it, but I don't. I think he lost it in qualifying this week. That's why he's not up there.
But next week we look to the future, and obviously, as I said a moment ago, as you join the party, the Wall of Champions is calling, mate. We're heading to Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, I never know if I'm any good at a track or not until we get on it and just have a go. But I don't like any track any more or less than the other, so it'll be what it'll be.
Nah, it's good luck to have, mate. To be fair, AFL, anything for 4-Star?
Nothing from me, mate. Just well done, mate. Good race. Obviously, you must be a bit annoyed sorry, get my words out. Missing out on the win, but a podium is a good place to start, mate. And obviously, onwards and upwards going forward, hopefully for you.
Yeah, we'll all continue chasing the rabbit, I guess, for the rest of the season, won't we?
Hey, no doubt, though, mate. We're going to see some good clips on your TikTok shortly, though.
Why was it a crashy race? I have no idea. I didn't see.
There was a couple of bumps. There was a couple of spins. So you might want to get asking the lads for a couple of clips.
There's enough content there. I'll always do it.
I love watching your. Honestly, I love watching your TikTok every week, mate. Because always
if anyone's done a spinneroonie, I'll get that in.
Mate, honestly, like I said, enjoy the podium, mate. I know you wanted the win, but enjoy the podium nonetheless.
Yeah, cheers, bud. Thank you. And sorry to Brabbit as well, who I did hit at one point as we were. He kind of left the door open, and I wasn't planning on going for an overtake, and then the door was no longer open, so there was a bit of contact, but hopefully we're all good.
No worries. Right, we're going to go to Strauss. Strauss, mate, on the podium
Good
yet
evening.
again. Talk us through it.
Well, actually I had a great start from P8 to P5. And when the safety car came out, I went to the hards. 4-Star and Brabbit were too fast today, and I was happy to battle alongside my best friend again, just like last week, although this time for a podium. So that's great.
Yeah, you had some good battling there with Cole Paradox on track. You were trading places like no tomorrow. Talk us through that, because it was AFL stayed on board with you for quite a bit. Obviously, I was on board as well, but talk us through it, mate, from your POV.
Yeah, there was the most overtakes we speak about in the party, so we know from each other we are going for it or not. But 1 or 2 times it was so much overspeed that I couldn't say that I was going. So that was quite tricky and quite sweaty. But we give each other enough room to race. We race a lot together in co-op career mode as well, so we know what the other can do. will do. So it feels always very good and very. I'm always very happy to race alongside him.
Same relationship that me and AFL have got together as well. It's always good to see, good to hear. But we turn our attention to the future, mate. We are heading to Canada next week, where the Wall of Champions is calling for someone. How are you feeling?
Well, I was expecting a lot today, so I will expect nothing last week, and maybe I will step up one higher on the podium.
You never know.
See. I think it's every week where I am on the grid.
That's fair enough. AFL, anything for Strauss?
Just want to say I really enjoyed that battle. I was watching it for quite a while, so yeah, no, good racing, mate. Good racing.
Thanks, thank you.
No, lovely stuff. Right then, he's won 3 races this season. His championship rival got promoted to tier 2. He has now got a big lead on the championship. We go to our winner. We go to...
Yes, please. I agree. Can we vote? We'll vote right now.
We go to our winner of the Tier 3 Chinese Grand Prix for Series 9. It is Brabbit.
Yeah. Thank you. I had a great qualifying. I was quite surprised that nobody reaches his time trial times. I mean, I was really scared. I only was planning to finish like P5, P6, something like that. But yeah, even Maconie was 1 second, I mean, off his time trial, so really sad for him. But my last quali lap was quite good. And yeah, then I had a clean race start, no issues, and then I could grow a little gap. I think Forster was following me, and yeah, then the safety car decided the strategy. You have to pit. I'm quite confused or not sure if Forster really wanted the mediums or it was a mistake.
No, it was intentional. I've just planned on another safety car, to be quite honest. But it never came.
Okay, because from my opinion it was quite risky, because I think in the end your mediums were screaming for life or for a pit stop, but then my stint was quite fine. Around lap 18 I recognized that I was lacking of fuel, so I was trying to save some fuel, and yeah, but all in all I had enough, and I win the race, so luckily there was no late safety car.
No, you did have a lovely race, mate. You converted a pole into a win. It's always good to see. Obviously you couldn't get the perfect today, didn't get the fastest lap, but it's still points nonetheless. Now, next week we are heading to Montreal, Canada, where the Wall of Champions is waiting for someone, and being our championship leader, potentially waiting for you. How do you feel about Canada?
So first of all, China was one of my favorite tracks of the calendar. Montreal isn't, and unfortunately I'm not available next week, so I'm away for work.
How interesting.
So sorry for that, I'm just not at home, so I'm not able to race. But yeah, if I have to give a call, I think it will be interesting, because close walls, and I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 safety cars, so I think it will be all about the strategy, and yeah. But I think I will watch the stream from work, and yeah, will cross all my fingers, and good luck to all of you.
How many weeks are you away for? Just, asking for a friend.
Just a few days, and unfortunately there's a Thursday. It's also this next week's Thursday, so just a few days. So I will be back for the next.
He'll be back for the Spanish Grand Prix. He'll be back for the Spanish Grand Prix.
At least we'll get a new winner, I guess.
Well, considering where it stands, boys, just now, because I was looking at the standings at this precise moment. Obviously, if it finishes where it finishes, 4-star, even if you came P1 next week, Brabbit will still lead.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
But you'll close the gap down quite a lot, though, so it's going to spice things up for the second half of the season regardless.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess it depends on how many of them keep sticking it in the wall, bringing out the safety cars. Probably quite a lot next week.
I think it will be a fight for P2 in the standings.
AFL.
Yeah, I think you were pretty close, Strauss, anyway, and I think Maconie's right there with me as well.
Yeah.
So, the fight for second should be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Where have we heard this story before? AFL, have you got anything for our championship leader?
No one caught it.
No, just well done, mate. I liked how, obviously, you did lose the lead after the safety car, but you battled your way through clean, got your elbows out, and then you didn't look back. So, yeah, just from me, well done, mate.
Thank you. Really, congrats to the podium drivers and congrats to the commentators. You are all doing a great job.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, well done, mate. Good win.
Thanks.
Right then, so we are going to wrap up things there for another interesting round here at CRL. We will be back the same time as next week. Brabbit won't be, so these boys are going to be potentially getting some more practice in to try and get as much points as they potentially can to try and close that gap down. Is it the season of the Brabbit, or are we got a surprise still yet with? Next week it will score the halfway point of the season, so that's come by quite quick. But as always, I've been your host, CRL Spider 95. My good friend, as always, has been AFL 1994. We will see you guys same time next week for the Canadian Grand Prix. But in the meantime, the Tier 2 boys and the Tier 1 boys are racing. Go and show them some love.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.